Hi everyone, this is Isa Teeth, and it's like a Freedom Friday or something. I don't know about you, but this morning when I woke up, I was just kind of like bouncing off the walls. And it's not even a full moon or a new moon, and I don't do drugs. Even my dogs were like that this morning, and they still are, and I'm feeling a little bit ampy myself. So if I seem to be speaking like 300 miles a minute, I have no idea what's going on, but I'm just going with it. So today I'm going to speak about the complete opposite of what I was just saying, really happy, really alive, all that kind of stuff. Instead, I'm speaking about, are we in the age of rage? Now, this actually came up because I was speaking to someone a few days ago, and we were talking about a lot of things that were happening in the world right now. For example, most of you, and I'm not like the news bulletin kind of girl, but the bottom line is that we see some things or we hear some things that are going on, like United Airlines whole thing where they overbooked and they asked somebody to get off the plane and nobody would get off the plane. So they picked somebody that had to go off the plane, and it started this big ruckus, and this person got beat up, and it just turned into this massive mess. Apparently, I never saw the videos and all that kind of stuff, but the guy lost his 2 front teeth, and they're having to do all this apology. And the point is that that's a lot of emotion. It's like stuff showing up, but that's not all. I mean, we see these things all the time, but since I'm into current events today, another thing that occurred was that there was a man who walked into the school where his wife was a teacher, and she was working with special needs kids, and he walked into the classroom and he shot her, and one of the kids got shot and also died, and then he shot himself. You think that's kind of like, wow, there's a lot of stuff going on. And what about when you're driving down the street and you notice somebody cuts in front of you and then slams on his brakes because he didn't like the way you drove your car, or you were driving the wrong color car, or his wife yelled at him, or, who knows, whatever. There are just so many things that are going on in the world right now. And when you kind of look around, you just see a lot of energy, and you can label it anger because it kind of looks like that, but ultimately it's just energy. So what is really going on? Well, first of all, what you're starting to see is a big collective evolutionary thing happening. What does that mean? It means that for so long, many people, and you can check and see if you happen to possibly be one of these people in just, any little way, but what about the idea that maybe you haven't always spoken all of the truth? Have you possibly not been completely authentic? Have you suppressed anything that was going on with you, like ever in your life? I'm pretty sure we're all raising our hands and we're really honest, right? Because I know that we are afraid as a collective to really speak the truth, say what's going on, be 100% authentic, because we have that thing called I really want to be loved and I don't want anybody to be mad at me. And some of you don't really give a flying phooey whether somebody's mad at you or not. But what is important is that you recognize that you are in a place where there's probably somewhere in your life you haven't been 100% authentic. And because of that, it's important for you to recognize that what you are going to need to do is to look at where you and perhaps somebody else in your life and other people in the world have not been 100% authentic, have not really felt all your feelings or expressed all your feelings in a nice, normal way, in a productive way, in an honest way, without the attack thing going on. So we have a lot of suppression. And what's happening as a collective and through the evolutionary process of mankind is, I've said this in another talk that I did with you all, and that was that I spoke about how we are in a place where, it was probably in one of my predictions, that there's nowhere to hide, because what's happening is it's like the energy's squeezing us to really come up and be real, really come forward with what's in there, because it's about being real now. And all of this stuff that's really been in a place of suppression and not being authentic and all of that, being afraid to tell the truth, that's really coming up in a way that is causing us to no longer be able to hide. Well, that's okay if you haven't been one of those people that have been suppressing for so much that you're going to go out and take, a M16 or whatever those guns are called and you shoot down people. But there are those people, and they have energy that's coming up inside of them in a really, really big way. So I was coaching somebody the other day, and this person's been in this relationship for 20 or more years, and she realized that she cannot go on any longer. It's not okay with her to be the underdog in the relationship, or to be spoken down to, or to feel basically energetically or otherwise abused. Because it's along the same lines. We just take stuff on. And since we don't feel good about it and we don't deal with it, it gets suppressed. So I invite you to take a look and see where you might be suppressed. Where is your own anger? Where's your own rage? Where is it that you find yourself being passive aggressive? And passive aggressive means that you say something perhaps in a joking way, but there's a dig in there. You know what I'm talking about. Or perhaps you're just plain old aggressive. You're just plain old blah. You attack people. You scream at people. You yell at people. Those are all the underpinnings of deep suppressed feelings of angers and rage. So I know the question is, what do we do about this? Well, first of all, when it comes to the outer world, mind your own business. Stay out of everybody else's business. This has nothing to do with you. If you've got friends, neighbors, and all those kinds of things going on, you don't have to get involved. It's not your job. You have so much work to do internally. Believe me, it's a full-time job from my own personal experience. So get a grip. Mind your own business. That's one of the things you can do. The other thing you can do is you can monitor your thoughts. What's going on up here? What's going on up here? What are you thinking about? What are your emotions? Are you monitoring your thoughts? Are you monitoring your emotions? Are you just going over there with it, or are you going and hiding it away? Learn how to communicate effectively. Learn how to tell the truth. And if you're not going to come to one of my retreats or seminars or listen to my programs, then at least journal. Because journaling can help you get that stuff out. Beat a pillow. Scream in a pillow. Dance hard. Chop some wood. Carry some water. You heard that saying? Whatever you need to do, but get the energy moving so it doesn't eat you up physically, mentally, emotionally, and you don't have some blow up that takes out your friends and your family and your children in ways that you don't really want it to, because then you have to deal with all the guilt and all the other stuff that comes from that. So, let's get it before it hits home. Doesn't that sound like a good idea? Okay, so you're going to monitor your mindset. You're going to mind your own business. You're going to really be clear about what's important to you. And when you do that and you express your feelings, sorry, I'm just eating my hair today. You're really going to find that your life will change dramatically. So it's up to you to not join in and get into what I call the mad dog syndrome. We have 4 dogs, really 5 dogs around here, and they're all little, but one starts barking, wah, all of them are barking. One starts getting into a real ruckus, they're all join in. It's the mad dog syndrome. People do that too. The question is, are you doing that? Step away, back away, turn away, get away. You get it? Don't get engaged. Don't jump in and get into the mad dog syndrome. You don't have to get involved in other people's stuff. It's important. It's important for you and your joy and your peace and your good humor and all of those around you, because they're going to really appreciate it. And when you do it, they'll be able to do it much easier, because that's kind of how it works. We open up the space, other people kind of have a tendency to follow what we're doing. So here's my request for you today. First of all, I'd like you to be aware that I actually speak outside of these Facebook Lives. And so if you would like to have me come and speak at some organization, or you know some incredible place you'd like me to go, you just let me know, because I would so love to do that. You know, I just got back from Africa, which was really awesome. Spoke to 1,500 people there. You have an opportunity to have this smiling face on your monitor board or your computer or wherever you like it to be. And you can go to isatees.com to find out more about that. Just click the little place that says hire me. I am for hire. Okay, your question for today is, what would it take for me to mind my own business? What would it take for me to mind my own business? May this be the most awesome day of your life so far, the most incredible week of your life so far, and I can't wait to connect with you next time. Until then, feel a hug.